December. That was literally like 4 or 5 days after they had played.
Oh, yeah.
In the very first play week. And that was a FaZe victory. So, you know, that's also something to keep in mind. So, in terms of history between the two, it has been a while since they've played. And with roster changes and metagame shifts, definitely something that you should keep in mind. And two hard breachers.
They also played each other at SI in the first game.
Yes.
The very first game on the main stream, they played each other in FaZe 1 and 2-1.
That was on LAN.
That was.
And for people that don't grasp why we mention LAN specifically and don't really want to take it too much into consideration when it comes to playing online, is because it really is very different. There are teams that just shine on LAN and some others that are just better online, and call them what you will. It can be a negative thing, a positive thing. All I think is just there are some that are just better in one and not as much at the other. But this is why we try to kind of separate things and put them in neat little boxes for everybody to try and understand the context in which we're trying to argue one position or the other.
Well, tacking onto your double hard breach ban comment, we also get a Maestro ban, which is not common in Latin America, as we've seen.
It's like 16% ban rate, right? Which is not high at all. It's kind of there.
Well, the Maestro will be gone. The Miro will be gone, which will force some kind of plant denial operator to come in. One of the main three, and the last remaining there is Echo.
Yeah.
Operator that gets banned out a crap ton in Latin America.
Pino actually plays pretty decent Echo. Wog playing off of the smoke is going to be running the kite though. Tila, I want to see how they play it. Is it going to be something that's going to be more focused on you know, comboing with the bandit, or will they kind of run the operator on their own? Of course, another bonus that the TCSG gives you is the fact that you can just destroy softwall fast, like this to prepare stuff. Now, there's a Thatcher in play for Cameraman and FaZe in general, so they can also deal with this pretty darn easily.
Well, you're most likely going to be seeing Pino do a lot of work with the drones for visibility, and most likely peeking outside of the rafters, trying to hold down controls. It's a CCTV and cache defense to start things off. Not a big shock, especially considering that both the hard breachers are banned, and when a Maverick gets banned out, that really affords you a lot of freedom playing up against that cache and CCTV wall to the exterior balcony. You don't have to worry about your feet holes being exposed. You don't have to worry about people rappelling upside down and completely destroying the reinforcement and having Mav come over with the buck and blast away the remaining wooden barricades. So just with the thermite available, you're going to have to lean quite heavily on a Thatcher and possibly Mav going underneath with that buck. You also have Wog with the Kaid, our first example of him being played with these two teams.
Yeah, and the Electric Claw can do quite a bit of work, obviously, but in this case, being employed to kind of spread it out as well, playing horizontally, and you just want to make sure that, hey, if they want to take it, or want to make our opponents on the attacking side really fight for it, they might have the utility operators so that it's required, and one of them being the Thatcher, but at least trying to put as much pressure on top and trying to sacrifice as much utility before they get to the main wall entrance. And maybe in FaZe's mind, they just want to attack from construction side, which is fair enough, obviously. It's not a bad thing. But with a map that has so many windows, so many ways of rotating in and out, bringing the Nomad is actually pretty darn great. And they'll at least be successful here. FaZe in opening up the wall. It's going to be Vaultin, which is not great. It can really expose you. Oh, no, the run-up from Psycho. Perfectly timed, and Astro will go down.
Contestion here from Kamikaze outside of the construction window as well, and he's getting extremely aggressive. He's going to vault out onto Cameraman, but oh, what a pop-up there and a saving grace. The extra fire rate on the AR-33 in comparison to the L-85, and Ion will tack on, dropping Wog. So now this far side roam completely dispatched of, and the rest of FaZe will push their way in through construction.
Yeah, this is a big reason of why I actually like the AR-33 more than the L-85. Controllability at range is obviously pretty good for the L-85, but AR-33 ACOG angled is actually pretty darn underrated, I have to say. Smoke's going to be used, and you're going to really have to expose yourself if you want to open up that wall. The defense is still left with only three players, but knowing Nip, they might just rotate one player to play from the hatch and really shut down the thermite charge. No, Pino's gonna get used in here. Yuna will find one kill. They drop one player and spray right next to him, bearing 9 in hand, but no, the Nomad works it perfectly, and then the double for Psycho, triple for Psycho. 3 in a row for him, and already gotten one before. Okay, they just line up. There you go.
What was that last 10 seconds?
Can we repeat that whole last 10 seconds? Thank you very much. In slow motion.
Pino hits the vault. Somehow, miraculously, while hip firing, is able to down the man holding the square reinforcement hole. You've got a plant going down inside of Toxic Smoke, not taking any damage, while concussed. His cover vaults in on him, and then after Pino gets down, they pull off the plant and try to rush to Cash. What? Just all communication must have broken down in those last 5 seconds on both sides, because that was just anarchy. But Psycho goes huge. NIP take the round, which they should. They're on the defensive side. And also that air jab just out of nowhere. Was this the second time now we've seen a plant going down and an air jab being the savior?
But, well, actually, I'm guilty of saying this. But I spent a decent chunk of time with Aces from the stream.
Yeah.
Going through this map, and specifically Cash site with Nomad, to try and abuse some of the positioning that Nomad allows you to play against with her air jabs. And we found it pretty easy to basically break the site with her, at least the retakes. Unfortunately, it wasn't really used in the same way that we saw it, and yeah, the Claymore positions, there's so much that you can do with Nomad on this site, well, on this map specifically, but in general on Cash, it can be pretty darn scary. But Alibi in play, obviously, then Legion and Valkyrie. There's a lot of, quick sort of operators that are put in play from NIP, so they're going to try to maneuver around that. They also shut down information on the site by having Julie on the mute, and then WOG as well on the Echo. A lot of rotation between the roles as well, so role swap is, working out. Sometimes, you want to play on top, sometimes you want to play all the way at the bottom here on the Church. So, for having that flexibility is something the top teams in every region definitely have shown.
An alternate strategy that seems to be doing a fairly good job of stalling out FaZe momentarily as well. They do have the exterior Cache and CCTV wall open. Kamikaze threading the Neo, darting back and forth, and Pino will cut down a unit before Astro will trade out Pino upstairs on the flank. So now all of Cache and CCTV is surrendered. That's your Thermite gone, your only breacher available. Pings through the wall for Kamikaze, but oh, Ion pushing in through the bottom of Garage will take down Kamikaze. So a 4v3 advantage for FaZe. But again, no breacher, no ability to open up any hatches or dirt tunnel or church wall. You got to push a staircase.
Yeah.
There's only 2 of them. Good luck.
This is probably going to lead to a blue take into Armory. Psycho's going to be pretty important here, and a Yokai to help him. It's a very good thing that all... Okay. He's going to fire one of those Yokai charges in the back and then walk to retreat. Wonder where the IQ is. That could very much help him in this position. The drone to scout out Julio, and just to see if everybody on the defense had actually maneuvered and played to the opposite end or not. WOG pretty aggressive with these Yokai positions. He somehow keeps it alive. He's just scooting around the map. Oh no! Oh, he didn't see. Oh, there you go. Well done. Well done. The Thatcher will at least take him out. Psycho is still up here. And they'll be able to breach it. Oh, did they not reinforce the... No, they didn't. Oh no. Nomad spotted, and Ion will still find the kill on Psycho. Huge, but with 20 seconds left, WOG and Julio can definitely win this out. Still need to just hold on to the small alleyways and angles. He'll find 1 kill, can't get the second, and FaZe will find the last 2. Well done, actually. One thing I want to highlight, Flynn.
Yeah.
At that end frame there in our own observer feed, there was a picture on the side of the wall in Moto that looked suspiciously like Kyle.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm fixated on that, but...
I think the more important factor there is that FaZe, even without a breacher, won an attacking round.
Because they had the manpower advantage, right?
Also, the reinforcements were allocated elsewhere, so they didn't have the reinforcements to reinforce hatches, because they reinforced the exterior CC wall.
Indubitably.
Sacrifice made for the setup that looked like it paid off in spades, and then just overrun. Aggressive peek there from, I believe it was Psycho on the blue stairs. Didn't really pay off. Ion wins it out with that ARX, and that's kind of the debate we've been having back and forth as well with Nomad is, which gun would you prefer? Faster fire rate and easier to control recoil, but extremely low mag size? Or do you take a hit on the recoil and the damage, per second anyway, for the extended mag size? And it seems like most people, at least in Latin America, are leaning towards the ARX, but we were 50-50 on Monday with North America. I want to see what EU does as well. I want to see what the choices are, because it seemed to be that damage per second and the more controllable recoil was enough to win FaZe the entire round. If Ion doesn't win there, then you still got a flank potential. With 20 seconds left, it's a dangerous proposition.
I wouldn't put the 2 batteries already down, but just because of the presence of Thatcher.
Yeah, no Mav means you're going to be seeing a Thatcher 24/7.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Now, what's cool from Astro here is that he opens up the rotation. When Habana's in play, usually the Habana's on that roof early on to try and do that sort of work. Wog actually peeking out. He's really trying to use the 44 mag and forgetting that it's not really the SMG-11. And are they just going to open the wall? Or is just Wog not going to be able to? No. I mean, look, I'm no expert, but I think that the operator that can block the thermite charge should be more focused on the wall that can be thermited, and not with the secondary distinct.
I'm also surprised that NIP didn't elect to go back downstairs. I mean, you lost it, but barely. First of all, if one gunfight goes the other way, like I said, you've probably won that round, and you're up 2-0. Not to mention, still a very defensible bomb site if you just peel back and play a little more reserved. Although I say that, Pino will get aggressive on the cache stairs and take down Cameraman, being flanked and almost turns the corner and takes down Mauve in tandem. But now Astra will take down Kamikaze, so once again, NIP get the first pick, FaZe respond back with 2 strong, and they continue that wave of momentum over. Now that cache hold has been dismantled, and FaZe once again in the driver's seat, and they retain the breach, but they lose the Thatcher.
Well, that's only 1 breach, and it might be inconsequential in the grand scheme of things. Here, the second part of the map had not been open, so Jacuzzi into the hallway. Now you have to come in from, oh no. You have to come in from the windows and from construction. It's still very doable, but you know, with especially the extra manpower, the air jab can be pretty darn cool as well to use. There's a player down and taken away. Astro well done on Julio, but Wog is also down back, and he's not going to be able to do much with the rest of the round. 44 mag, just not there at all. Electroclaw not used as well. Psycho have to move in and play construction solo as he tries to rely on his fallen comrade for just a bit, and that's a huge kill. The thermite and the diffuser are down on the floor. 3v1 in this situation with the Cotton still down on the floor. Ion will come back up as Mav is picked back at 20 HP. Ion was using the walk-up position from the outside to try and play and fire into his opponents. So much more damage done. Nitro Cell is still available, but there's little time left, and if he hears where his opponents are, he's gonna need to use the rotation hole. Psycho's not killed by himself, but Ion is ready. On the opposite end of the wall, a bit too slow there on the rotation, and FaZe will find the round. You know, that was telegraphed there. Yeah, that took so long on the other side. Oh, I wonder where he's gonna come from.
Unfortunate there, and honestly, just really good timing and spacing out of the utility there for Ion on the Nomad. 1 air jab in the pocket, throw it on the door, game over. He's got to make that rotation hole, or he could have used the Nitro Cell to just destroy the air jab. Could have chucked it at the door frame and taken out the air jab, but then again, you don't have a rotate hole construction. So you're screwed either way. You're going to telegraph where you're going with the Nitro Cell. In any case, and also they probably would have been watching the door even if there wasn't an air jab on it. So, unfortunate circumstance there. But Psycho really didn't have a lot to work with there. Wog bleeding out inside of the middle of Master. All of the angles possible where he could have facilitated a revive. Just unaccessible considering the balcony pressure coming out from the IQ there. So, we go back to CCTV and Cash. I'm curious if NIP will extend out and do this far side roam again with the master bedroom and jacuzzi walls reinforced. They are reinforcing jacuzzi walls.
Yeah, it looks like they're actually going to play that. Actually, back in the day, you used to see Maestro playing that position quite a bit. No longer the case, and especially not in this game where Maestro is banned. But the yokais from Pino were pretty darn good when he played on this. I kind of want to put a bit of blame on WOG's kite play because kind of the priority is not clear in his mind, or at least, you know, not being given out the correct calls for him to position himself where he can use his utility better. I don't know. I feel that there's just better ways of doing things with such an operator that relies so much on his utility just because the guns aren't the greatest.
Well, I'm really worried right now for Ninjas in Pyjamas because Clubhouse is a notoriously defender-sided map, and yet you've surrendered 2 rounds on the defense already. 1 on your primary bomb site with a Maverick and a Hibana band? That's defender heaven, and yet the defense of NIP throwing away costly rounds here that could be the deciding factor and the final blow of the guillotine should the end of this half lead them to, I don't know, a 3-3. Even if you draw the first half, starting on the defense, losing 3 of your rounds could be lethal.
Yeah. See, this is why, like, the TSG is great for highlight clips when you just go out and attack people, but man, if you want to move around, it's not super great, especially with the limited mobility of Clyde. Not because he's an old man, but because, you know, of the fact that he's a 1-speed. It's not great when you want to maneuver around. Now, Ion and Mav taking quite a bit of damage, but oh, the quick pop on Kamikaze and Julio now taken away. Pino will spot run the back, but he can't really respond. Psycho will take one out.
Oh.
Astro waiting for this peak Pino to go out. Cameraman waiting for the second as well in the doorway, but it's on the stairs. Psycho will find him. Walk the double tap on Yuna to take him out. Astro and Mav are less 2 alive, and Diffuser's on the opposite end of the map. Try to pre-fire, and the Cotton is really toying with them. You have control of the site, but there's no Diffuser, literally the most important part of the game. There's nobody peeking from NIP. They played it so darn slow. They're just waiting for their opponents to walk into the lines of fire. The Buck throws in a grenade, but will not connect with anyone. Psycho to get the kill. WOG is somehow still alive. Astro will find 1 kill. It's a 1v1. Astro with the clutch. FaZe Clan to find it. 3-1 in a position where there is no way they should have taken it. It was all the Ninjas to take.
I mean, Psycho is the only reason that NIP are even in that round. He commits to the full flank up main stairs and wins out 2 crucial gunfights.
Yep.
Then WOG wins it with the TCS G12 onto the Thermite, Yuna, who drops Diffuser inside of logistics. That's your pivot point. That's the moment where you know in your heart that NIP have won the round. That's another scenario in which it comes down to the wire, and FaZe give them full marks for their resiliency and their adaptability in a scenario that looked completely botched. But wow, NIP, you have now dropped 3 rounds on the defense, and I can't stress this enough. Like 2 hard breachers, your Maverick and your Hibana, are banned. You should not be losing this, and it seems to be based off of the aggression and the amount of map control that NIP want to retain throughout large portions of the round.
Yep.
Honestly, if they're peeling back and playing safer, I honestly could see this being a 3-1 in their favor or possibly a 4-0. It's their aggressive peaks, and when they don't win those gunfights on those peaks, it's catastrophic. It is a death sentence on the round.
I mean, for one part, I'm really happy to see the adaptability that FaZe Clan are showing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, well, NIP are kind of turning into a one-man show.
Yeah, it's Psycho against the world right now.
I don't know. Of all the games that we had, you wouldn't be expecting this one to go this way. But again, game 1 was 4-0, and then it ended in a draw.
Yep.
So it's not over until the fat lady sings, or, you know, the 2 casters yell.
True. You're going to hear the exothermic charge from Yuna blow open the CCTV wall once again, and it looks like Astro right now is just taking his sweet time, checking that drone over and over. And Julio inside the bathroom on the main floor is about to come to blows with Astro, who's over on the far side. And a beautiful pre-fire there, but Cameraman will take down Kamikaze in the garage rafters. 1 Legion Mine triggered, and this will Give Psycho some information that he needs to jump up into the action and try and take control of as many rounds as he already has. He needs to continue that firepower and that dominance, triggering an alibi Prisma upstairs with another attacker for FaZe. And as we approach the midway point in the round, pushing in, Psycho wins it out on Ion again, not taking a single point of damage, and more contestation as Julio still inside of bar. We'll go back-to-back with Mav.
The wall is soft right behind Julio there, so if there's a drone to alert the Buck of the position, then you might be using it in a different way. Well, gonna have to fall back, but he also has Pino to support him. Are both gonna go away, and Julio will peek around. There's a player that actually has control of this. Oh no. Julio in the perfect position here. He doesn't get over aggressive, but he finds a quick kill on the Buck. Almost turning around to 180 cameraman there, but cameraman is still able to save it. 2v3, 55 seconds on the clock. Thatcher and the Thermite are alive, which is, I mean, it's pretty good. But then you have to deal with the C4 as well that's available. You have the alibi as well. You have the Jaeger with limited manpower. It's not going to be a great position for you to play in. And I think they're just going to go for a church take in this situation.
They have the utility to dig themselves a new corridor of access, and it looks like cameraman is going to push into church hallway right outside of Moto, and that'll be his next progression. But playing in behind the bomb will be Wog on the Valkyrie, pushing down blue stairs inside of the back of the site. Pino will take down Yuna. Now it's all cameraman left alone. The diffuser lost in sight, pulling out the pistol will be to no avail, as Psycho will shut down cameraman, and FaZe will stop their run on the attacking side. NIP draw it back. They have a chance now to come out of the first half level at 3-3, and honestly, better look there from NIP to play a little safer after they had that man advantage. Don't get more aggressive. The map control works out for them on that round. Honestly, it seemed like it was from a bit of suspect droning on the side of FaZe, just not enough information. Granted that the Vigil coming out from Julio. It's going to be a distraction.
It's literally designed for that, right?
Astro is IQ, and a little bit of a counter there, right? So you're going back and forth in utility there, but at the end of the day, the roam game finally finds some success for NIP. They go back to CCTV cache for their third attempt, though.
One thing, or two things I want to highlight. First of all, I'm usually a fan of splits when you don't have much time, but in a situation where I have a Thatcher and a Thermite alive with a minute on the clock, just go together at church. Just go. Use whatever you still have left. And you have a charge, you have EMPs, just go for it, man. And you know, you have black box as well that you can plant behind. There's not many positions that you can get pushed by. It is your safest bet, and I'm not a fan of the way that they just ended up splitting with no information to play off of. You know, when it works, it looks great, but when it doesn't, it just what usually happens. You know, it's not super nice. Yokai oh, look at this.
It's nice.
It's quite nice.
He's been putting it there every time.
So, the second point I wanted to highlight, Clint, is that the first time these two played, Clubhouse, again, 3-3 at the half.
Bit of a trend here.
Yeah, the operators that were banned were completely different. I mean, Habana, same thing as here, but there was Echo, Monty, and the Valk, so that's that. But Psycho's taken quite a bit of damage from the grenade lobbed into him, but Yuna, at least realizing what's going on, will keep cameraman to, you know, close by to help him, right? But he's required elsewhere for the time being, and time will just be burned off.
Honestly, even though it's just damage, Psycho being that low, it's a good start for FaZe, considering Psycho has been the catalyst in a lot of rounds, and now Mav taking over the mantle of IQ away from Astro from previous rounds. Will spot out one Yokai drone at least over inside of logistics, the one that was able to garner the kill onto Yuna in the miraculous Astro clutch last time.
Drone's going to detect Wog. Can't find him just yet, but he can open up the hatch and drop if need be. He's got a couple avenues to escape, and you can see this. This is fairly prevalent for NIP, is that they really want to reinforce this position. No, cameraman will finish him off. No, there's not much that you can do. There's too many angles for you to watch. The drone is always causing just a lot of loss of focus. In that situation, can't really be too blamed for it. But now NIP, even though they have a time advantage, they end up losing 2 big operators for this sort of defense, both electrifying ops. And FaZe Clan just have more options to take for the assault.
Looks like it's Kamikaze playing in behind the B bomb. 2 stacking up for him here as they peek the CCTV window. It's actually Julio on the Legion. He'll retreat deeper in behind, and 1 air jab will be caught out by an ADS. And with 30 seconds left, time crunch coming now for FaZe as they're going to open up the construction wall into cash momentarily. Wall gets obliterated open, and Kamikaze going to take a lot of damage, but deal a fair amount to Yuna in trade. Shots rattling in through against the softball, and Julio getting extremely aggressive, knowing the time is dire. 13 seconds and FaZe preoccupied. Pino grabs one, but Ion with the immediate trade to Kamikaze. Cash has now been forfeited. Julio with another one on the vault and a third. The plant going down inside of Cash, and no Yokai in availability to stop the plant. It'll hit the overtime tuck directly in the corner. The plant is successful, and turning the corner up, Pino and Julio. Down the stairs towards the top of Cash stairs into the hallway. Looking through the soft walls and the wall, and impact on the backside will down and finish off Ion is Julio. That's 3 on the round for him. A 2v1 now for Ninjas in Pyjamas in this post-plant scenario. And Yuna getting a drone on the bomb in wait. The Yokai coming out in turn. Droning out the bomb, noticing that Yuna is nowhere close. And now it looks like Julio will start the defuse momentarily with cover. Lots of sprays coming in the direction, and Pino on the cover with that ACOG. Sticking the defuse is Julio. A slow peek from Yuna will bear no fruit, and NIP will drive back from the jaws of defeat. We level at 3-3 heading into the half. A remarkable post-plant situation there, and FaZe send too many bodies to their immediate demise to that CCTV window. Julio chooses them straight up.
Yeah, that was, to quote a certain analyst, waka waka waka.
Oh my god. Can you even call him an analyst?
I can't go to Montreal. I'm only an analyst. Get on the plane. I'm only human.
They already have to see the ad enough. You don't have to sing it for them.
All right.
How many times a day I see that ad? I've already watched the whole series, and I still see the ad multiple times a day.
You gotta binge it. I don't know. Though, with that said,
Yep.
that said, yeah, only half the wall opened. You were expecting that.
Yep.
But too many players vaulting in through the window, being lost immediately. Julio, instead of just holding the window and either flashing in if you had anything left to kind of just pin down the Legion in that position and the Echo. If you had done that, the charge would have gone off. I'm not sure also why. I believe it was the Nomad, excuse me, was playing behind the soft wall. Like, why?
I'm more confused as to why everyone on FaZe decided it was a brilliant idea to just full send 2 bodies in through the CC window when you didn't need that control. All you had to just hold back from the window. Like I said, Kamikaze had died inside of Cash. That control was gone. There was nothing there for NIP to hold. All that was really necessary to stop the plant in a different scenario would have been the Yokai drones from Pino, but he wasn't even using them. You're 5v2 in that situation instead of 2v3, and down to a 2v2 at the end. Just
and then to a
weird.
2v1, 2v0.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a great timeline. We used to have that timeline in game.
Ooh. Unfortunate timing there. It looks like Wog inside of Garage is just going to miss Cameraman on the drone. And now they'll spot him here. And good night, Cameraman. Psycho will clean things up coming down the Cash stairs. So FaZe mirroring a little bit of what NIP were bringing on the roam game, just also mirroring the lack of success with it.
Yeah, last time with the NIP FaZe, NIP were more successful on the defense with 4 rounds on the defense compared to only 3 on the attack, which is the first half they played on, which ended in 3-3. Literally a mirror of, well, reversed mirror of what we had here. So history repeats itself, I guess. We are doomed to repeat it.
I like the style points. You know, Pino hits the 360, dropping down the hatch. You know you're safe. If there's someone does pop up and you hit that shot, you know you're in highlight reels for the rest of the month.
Yes.
Like, you're golden. You don't have to worry about anything for the rest of the month. Like, you've hit your highlight quota.
Yeah, finally get paid enough enough for now to survive for the month. But Cameraman is the first player to get taken away, as you saw. Seiko at 75 HP. NIP looking pretty darn good here. And then C4 will not connect with anything. Will force Astro back. Yuna looking to destroy one of the exothermic charges if it does get used on the kitchen, on the hatch itself. And what? Why is there a complete soft wall? How much utility did they put on the top floor? There's nothing in blue either. Julio connects, and Ion is going to go down. That's now the smoke eliminated. Everything is just so weird from both teams in the setup. Astro maneuvering through the smoke, but he takes a lot of damage, and even more as he just whizzes away back and forth. He comes in from the back. He'll find one kill, and the second, no, not just yet. It's the pistol whipped up from Seiko, and Nip take the round 7. That just...
What was that round?
What are those reinforcements? What is that positioning? I get it. Okay, we want to roam, but
you also only had one person roaming. At least NIP were bringing multiple people roaming every time for support for crossfires.
Yeah, and playing. Oh, they played blue stairs. Milosh, Flynn. Yeah, but it's not really roaming.
With what visibility? Your dude was upstairs, goner.
Yeah, and even then, it wasn't enough to stop the 2 players that pushed in from garage and the stock room. Just easily got a kill on the Jaeger early on. It's just, ugh.
We're just seeing a weird evening, considering how defensive-sided Bank has been in the past, and how defensive-sided Clubhouse is in the entire world, and yet, a couple of attacker-sided games. Who cares?
My young Padawan, one thing I need to tell you.
Yeah.
This might be your first time casting LATAM Pro League.
It is.
Welcome to the jungle.
Nothing makes sense.
And yeah, it really is. And honestly, compared to everything else, it is usually a breath of fresh air because in other regions, things are kind of like just regimented. But there's some things that make so little sense. You're like, why?
I mean, the reactive play from both of these teams on the attacking side to try and dismantle these roam games is a sight to see. It's a good
very much
visualization of adaptations to setups we never see in other regions. Literally all 3 other regions. We never see this kind of play on Clubhouse. So, LATAM are on an island of their own when it comes to that respect. But it also comes down to fundamental basics, you know? Having someone with you to roam for crossfires. Don't leave a guy just isolated out there to die. NIP's roam game, while FaZe were chewing through it pretty well, it at least had more structure and more sense behind it.
Yeah. And, you know, that's a scary thing because a lot of times you see these mistakes that are just down to basics.
Yeah.
Not to the creative plays. And you're like, you're so creative, you're so good. How are the basics oftentimes missed out? It boggles the mind. It is, again, a refresher. But it is a test of mental stability at times. With that said, Astro is still up on the catwalk. Just waiting around for anybody to peek him. Of course, the angle on top. And this actually leads to another point. No dock in play for this sort of angle at all. They didn't. Wait.
Where did that...
Is this Rise Nation playing?
Where did the exothermic charge go?
Wait.
It was detonating on the wall, and it just vanished into the ether.
Okay, we're not controlling Observer here, so we can't just ask Marciu to take us to Kamikaze and see.
Very unfortunate, considering.
If it actually deleted that again, this is like an actual remix of the last season. Ah, no! What are you doing? ADS taken down and finally used the crossbow bolt and a quick shot. Julia, well done. Astro to go down, but Nav is coming in close.
Nav probably peeked from pool table. That's probably what it was.
They take it away?
I think he just shot it from pool table window.
But well, here's the other question: did they actually have a soft wall set on the garage, like intentionally? I don't know. Well, you're gonna open up one part, and Psycho and Astro, of course, both sacrificed one for each one of these teams. 26 seconds on the clock. NIP have to play against it here, but we might just see a 4-4 at the end of it. Games are gonna go to the distance, right? C4 being prepped by Mav. And he wants to shut down any of these rotations. Of course, Maestro is not on play. Ion will find one kill down the second. Mav will connect with the C4. It's now all up to Julio. He fires. He gets the second kill. He needs to go for the ace. But Ion to clean him up from behind before the Skeleton Key does too much damage to the Jaeger. Round number 8 will go to the defense of FaZe Clan, and they tie it up 4-4.
Time management there for NIP and resource allocation. Really. I mean, they spin a lot of circles outside of that garage, not making any forward progress. That exothermic charge, whether it was shot or impacted or straight up disappeared off the server, who knows. And also, Julio, at the dire seconds, when the rest of his team is pushing in through the breach hole on the CCTV wall, the man's in Narnia in Master. He's going up main stairs with 20 seconds left, completely opposite from the rest of the push on his team. And he gets there so late that by the time he has any effect, his whole team's dead.
Yeah, which is...
Like, it would have been a beautiful flank, because no one was watching it, and he just walked in and completely destroyed a person and almost got 2. But you need more time on the clock to be able to pull that off effectively.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just honestly not a fan of the entire round and how it went. There was just good control of Garage, but then not used at all.
Well, it's still Psycho leading the charge with 13 kills. Not really shocked, considering that first attacking round, I think he had 3, and then he's also just been a monster on defense all game. A little more even on the side of FaZe as far as kills. Kamikaze's still sporting a donut, though. 8 rounds in. A little unfortunate.
It happens.
It does. Happens to the best of us. Downstairs defense, though, for FaZe as they try and play off some of that momentum they had very early on with the initial start they had. I mean, you start winning or attacking rounds like that on Clubhouse, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. But like you said, in the last time these two teams played, it was also a 3-3 tie. And that resulted in a 7-5 win for NIP. So we're still in a scenario where this might go the distance, and pushing right down the stairs to his immediate grave will be 1, going for 2, but no, Yuna, but Astro following up will tag in for more. Astro with 2, Yuna with 1, and Yuna will fall at the end of it, but 5v5 goes to a 4v2 in the matter of 5 seconds, and Pino losing half of his health in the process to Astro's 416. Aggressive peek from Ion will win it out with the SMG-11. It's a round gone to hell in a matter of moments. Julio left alone on an island upstairs as the buck, as he tried to skeleton key open the floorboards, but it seemed like, again, the rest of his team had other intentions.
I don't think the message got through.
I don't know what the plan was.
I think this reflects back on American military doctrine. If we don't know what we're doing, they don't know what we're doing.
Oh, they all know. He hits the Legion mine. There's nothing to do but back off, and he's going to pull a pin out of his leg, I guess, to prolong the inevitable, but there's 4 guns trained on him, 1 flanking up the main stairs, a frag grenade in desperation, a second one to clear out the barbed wire and a utility. Wary of a flank as there's time ticking away, no one on the default, so he'll drop oil pit to safety, but again, he's got multiple guns trained on him. The pre-fire would give away his position. He ascends up the ladder, thinking it's into safety, but this flank has now made it all the way into lounge. A second one coming up, blue stairs, the skeleton key, again, giving away his position, and Astro will clean things up. A beautiful round for him on the Jaeger, and slap that C button as much as you want.
Unfortunate there. But still. Damn. Okay. This is so far looking good for FaZe on that defensive side, right? Both teams have had their mess ups on the defense. Will FaZe continue? Or will Nip be able to kind of break it off? I'm really wondering. The site we're going to go to is Gym Bedroom here. We don't have a 6th pick, by the way, for people that are wondering, because I've been seeing that these posts pretty much everywhere on Reddit. For the first week, there's a bit of an issue with 6th pick.
Yeah,
basically,
there's no 6th pick right now.
Yeah, with 6th pick, I think the bug is basically you alt-tab and you can go back, and there was a point where you could actually like select the 6th pick as many times as you want and see what they are before the reveal phase. There are some issues here and there.
Oh, so it's like the old alt-enter. Way back in the day,
exactly.
Just spam alt-enter and you can change your op.
Exactly.
Over time.
So it's similar to that. Because of that, the 6th pick is disabled.
which means reveal phase is also disabled.
Yes, which personally I'm completely fine with. I'm not particularly the biggest fan of reveal or 6th pick, but
hey, I mean, people have been. I mean, it's a pretty divisive issue right now as to whether or not 6th pick should be in or should be in. So just consider this a test case. Hey, we got rid of it. Not intentionally, but we got rid of it.
At least for this week, until we have a fix. So yeah, it's a good thing. It's to prevent any potential abuse. There you go. So that I think should clear things out. You don't really want to revisit it every game. So
no.
You know, spread the word.
Yeah, feel free to clip that and post it everywhere, as you all do.
Well, Pino should be able to destroy the shield in the back. Is there any ADS potentially there? Nuh-uh, they're going to try to stun Yuna, and that's the Zofia that used up her utility. It didn't actually connect. You can bounce around the shield. Is it going to be in time? No. Wall's going to get opened, and this should allow the Monty of Wog to just move in. There's soft wall as well that's been destroyed, and the shield is actually going to play against the Monty in this situation. Oh, no, he can't run up. No, come on, man. What? It's a vault wall.
Yep.
That's not a run-in.
It's gonna leave Wog exposed on that Montagne when he has to unshield to vault in. I don't think anyone from FaZe is gonna be actively peeking this angle for that split second, especially when you can have multiple guns trained towards either stairwell or doorway. And yeah, Wog's gonna make it right in, no problem. And Psycho's gonna make it all the way into the bathroom and drop Astro. And another one for Psycho will drop Yuna, looking to level things at a 5-5. Two members for FaZe fall immediately. Toxic Babe launched deep down the hallway just to stall out the progress, but Pino will tack on. Mav will fall. Ion and Cameraman separated, alone. No way to help each other, and now stuck in a closet is Wog. He doesn't rotate out, but crouch and hip fire at close range is all that matters. Wog will shut it down, vaulting into Jim. A fruitless kill for Cameraman as it's a 1v4, and that was not the man with the diffuser. Just under a minute remaining. It's a bad spot to be in if you're Cameraman.
There's a shield waiting for you. They'll pre-fire, and Wog will find the last kill as well. That's 2 for him on the Monty. And honestly, I'm surprised the smoke wasn't playing in the bathroom. That assault into the bathroom was pretty much what won the round for NIP. They came in and there's just nobody watching it, nobody even in it. Like, why? What a lot of teams will do as well is, okay, they got the wall open from Jacuzzi, so let's just reinforce the second side of it from bathroom.
Guess what?
What?
We're going the distance, baby.
Oh my god.
I am actually cursed. It's great.
Look, Emzo, if you're watching, can you get on the first flight from California back to Katowice? Please? Save me from the nothing I've become. Bring me to life.
15 kills for Psycho. Having a game to remember.
Obviously, the Frost is being put in play here by Matt, which actually is like not bad. Frost is actually a good operator. The whole thing, though, is so this is a trial counter against the Monty.
Yeah.
Now, you obviously can combo that with Lesion, and I will explain how. So the Frost, you get into the mat, you're down, right? But if you have a Goo Mine on top of the Frost mat, then you depending on how the damage tick goes, you basically just step into the mine and then get killed by the mat instead of just being dropped, because it doesn't just drop you, it does X amount of damage that drops you down to 0, that puts you in a DBNO state. How it works is coded in the game. So you can get one tapped and killed instantly. Obviously, we're like, well, it's this huge trap that's on the floor. Yeah, but even in professional play, it actually does more work than you'd think. And it's usually used on maps like Coastline, right? Things where there's a lot of vaulting, or there's a lot of windows, but here it's doable too.
I mean, you're also Wog, a giant deployable shield. Your field of view is not that great through that tiny little window, especially if you're fully deployed. And your attention is going to be strained more towards the window. You're going to be wary of peeks. You're going to try and call out for any information on anyone else inside. So, yeah, your first focus is not going to be to look down at the ground. especially with no reveal phase. So they have no idea that Mav is playing Frost right now. Although Yuna has taken a handful of damage, down to about 20 HP. It looks like Wog will try and make his way in as these rafters are still occupied by Astro, and the Sea of Legion Mines he continues to deploy at that entryway will stall out Wog on his incursion into the garage, and he's got no fire suppression support with him. There's no one behind him with a gun. Looks like he's a man on a mission by himself. But Psycho will start things off once again for the Ninjas in Pyjamas. Cameraman will fall, and there goes your Jaeger, your most powerful weapon on the defensive side. And even more explosions now as there go the reinforced walls directly underneath Astro. You've got one man pushing under, and Psycho will now head to the roof as Wog continues to try and push in. He's slowly making it, and it sounded like someone else actually hit a Legion mine upstairs.
Yeah, I think it was Wog 2.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he had to take it out for just a second. Now he's going to have to move up. Double stun from Pino to lock the Legion in place. The fire. Oh no, how is he still alive? Impact grenade thrown in, and that it doesn't destroy the Frost Trap. The Monty knows what's up, and still no fire done. Not enough to kill the Legion. You have to hit the body and not the thing next to it. The Goo Mine thrown in. Julio will get one, but Mav with a refrag. 3v4, trying to keep this as close and tight as possible. Julio will find one on Mav as the Legion is down on the floor and taken away by Astro as Wog frustrated, will take his shield off. So much damage done to Julio as well. They'll find, no, so close to getting Kamikaze out of play now. They're walking up the stairs to try and double up on him. However, he has dropped. The smoke will set back, and Goo Mines are going to be extra powerful in this position, locking down the back stairs. Kamikaze chucking up the stun nades, but if he walks up, he's going to get downed. Astro with a hipfire kill onto one. Ion with a refrag as well. Second one on Kamikaze. Julio lasts alive, but not for long. And FaZe, even with players so low and so down on general manpower, they're able to bring it back. The onslaught for NIP has been stopped. They stick to their pajamas and go to sleep. So we'll be possibly a round away from a FaZe victory. 7-5 will tie the two teams overall. Or maybe NIP have something else up their sleeve.
Well, I mean, right now in the standings, you have Liquid and Immortals at the 1 and 2 spot, tied at 15 points. If you're FaZe, you've got 9. 3 points puts you back in that top contention conversation immediately.
Yeah. Red Devils at 4th place with 10, so that's already pretty impressive, right?
I mean, you're vaulting and you're catching. You will be 2 points back of NIP. And the tiebreak will be even, so then it goes to the rest of the round differential for the rest of the season for you if you end up in a draw in the standings for a tiebreak to make it to Milan.
And look at it in a different way. The next 2 play weeks for LATAM, NIP INTZ, FaZe Pain, which statistically favor both FaZe and NIP.
Yep.
Then the week after it, NIP plays Immortals and FaZe plays Liquid.
Oof.
Which are 2 tight games on their own as well.
Yep.
And you're like, wow, can this get even more exciting?
Latin America for the next few weeks is going to be just a handful of barn burners.
Yes. Actually, it reminds me, I don't know if people here are fans of reading nice books, but there is a nice, I actually learned this a few days ago, but there's a nice Japanese author, Murakami, and he has this book that is a collection of all of his short stories, and one of them is literally called a story, The Barn Burner. And I saw it, I'm like, whoa, what is this? There we go. People love my obscure references.
Sure.
Yeah, I read that, and I will continue to do them, despite them. So there you go. A good book to read. There you go.
Well, the Montaigne is still coming out in full force for NIP as they have their backs against the wall. They've already sacrificed the ability to take 3 points in this engagement. Now the battle is to split one with FaZe and not allow their counterparts to claw back behind them in the standings. You get one, again, you're at 13 points if you're NIP. You're still in that top contention conversation, and you don't want to allow any teams, especially a team like FaZe, to start working back points in those standings. You want to keep them right down in the bottom half where you like them, on your heels. The floorboards, looking down in towards Kitchen, and the main stairs will get evacuated by the skeleton key of Julio, and Wog having much more success, at least progressing faster on the Montaigne as he makes it into blue. There's no one greeting him in behind the generator.
Yeah, FaZe are turning their attention towards that position, right? They, you know, they have Ion cameraman actually having set up an Echo drone or Yokai in blue. So I think we haven't really touched too much upon it, but there's some positions where you kind of pre-shoot EMPs to try and catch stuff below it because there's usually utility below it. In this case, not using. Actually, Wog will just kind of come in and have a fun old time with a Valkyrie. Nothing being fired up just yet, but this is time to do it. Wog's going to drop a shield thanks to Yokai, and Mav will connect. This is such a weird engagement, but Wog, deservedly, will actually walk out from it dead. And Yuna's going to get stunned in the back. The Zofia is trying to use whatever she's got. Pino, well done there, but it's not enough to find a kill. It walks right into Ion. Psycho will get taken down. The Zofia actually vaults on in, but it's too quickly found by FaZe. One alive is Julio. He's on his own. Spotted, taken out. Astro, well done. Round number 12 will go to FaZe Clan, and that's a 7-5 victory to oppositely mirror what we had in the first playdate of Pro League for Latin America. Oh boy, I think, if I'm not mistaken, both teams want to go to LAN.
I mean, FaZe draw back closer now. Inching their way up the standings. They now vault Red Devils, barring the result of their game up next.
Yep.
Against Black Dragons.
Which is, actually, I said this earlier on, but Black Dragons Red Devils is gotta be an underrated match.
It's a deceptively good game.
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to it because Red Devils, for the first time in play days, you know, they were 3-1-3. They won 3 games, they tied 1, and they lost 3. And they were giving everybody a hard time. I mean, what, they beat INTZ 7-4. They lost 7-5 to FaZe, which is pretty impressive, but then they lost 7-1 to Black Dragons in the very, very first play day, which is not great because they actually played on Oregon in that matchup. But then, you know, they gave Immortals at least 3 rounds. They tied with NIP. They won against Team Liquid 7-5. Oh man, that game on Villa was ridiculous. We saw Liquid doing that. I'm like, there's no way. I think I was casting that with Kicks, and we're both like, there's absolutely no way in hell that this is actually happening. So yeah, we have a caster cam.
Oh no. Oh, Yuna, but Astro following up will tag in for more. Astro with 2, Yuna with 1, and Yuna will fall at the end of it, but the facepalm, I love it.
It's like just, oh no.
It's hard to understand what the strategy was behind that. Let's be honest. You send 3 people down the main stairs. What? Why? Why? There's so much time. You could have done so many other things. I don't know.
And then the Buck was on his own. It's like, oh,
yeah, Julia's just upstairs, like,
guys,
well,
what?
Cool.
Did I miss something?
Yeah, really.
All right. Well, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we still have 2 more games to go. Coming right up, it's Black Dragons versus Red Devils, and that'll be in just a few minutes. We'll see you soon.